Well, welcome back, friends, to the Polished Podcast. We hope you're enjoying our conversation today with our guest, Shalynne Jackson. But now it's time to add a dash of spontaneity and a sprinkle of fun to the show. It's time for Ask Me Anything. Shalynne, this is how this is how Ask Me Anything works.
Let's do it.
It is. There's a chance for us to peel back the layers, get to know the woman behind the work, the quirks behind your expertise. And I'm going to ask you just a few questions I've curated today, and we're just going to follow our curiosity to learn more about you. Are you in?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. So our first question today, what do you believe are the most important qualities of a successful leader, and how do you cultivate those qualities in yourself and others?
Wow. Okay. So, transparency, vulnerability, cultural competence for sure.
Oh, I love that.
Humility. Empathy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really think that if you can get a number of those correct, people are sure to want to follow. You'll be a leader people desire to follow. If you can really nail a few of those. And I will say I have to add like one that is willing to lean into their own work. This kind of ties to the cultural competence around like we all have bias, really challenging yourself and leaning into whatever you want to call it, DEI or just people first leadership. But to say, how am I impacting my employees or, showing up in different spaces so that I can be aware of it and do something about it? We all have bias. Me as a DEI practitioner, I go to sleep, I wake up with the bias. And so instead of listening to the narrative that bias is bad, bias is not bad. It's not being aware of our biases that's bad. And so I feel that an inclusive leader, a successful leader, is aware of how they're showing up so they can actually do something about it. And approachability as well. Approachability as well. Too often people feel that they have to have everything perfect when they walk up to their leader. And I don't ever want anyone to feel that way. I'm like, bring me a blank slate or a draft. As long as I know you are giving your best, we can sit here and we can make the time to try to figure it out together to at least get you started on said project or whatever that is. So approachability is key.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you on that one. Our question number 2, how do you foster a culture of innovation and creativity within your team or organization?
Well, I actually get to cheat because in my day job, we sit in the same space as the innovation team, and they are amazing and so talented.
That's
so
so
we get
cool.
to we're not on the exact same team, but we sit in the same space. But just the day to day is like challenging my people around my team around like, is there something that we're missing? I even say like, we have to practice what we're encouraging others to practice. And so is there a voice that's missing? I welcome people. I'm sure sometimes people are like, why did you ask us to look at this? Because I may be missing the mark. You know what I mean? Like I may be missing the mark. And as a leader, I don't feel that my product is perfect the first go round. And just really try to cultivate that on my team and just say like, you don't have to have it all together. Let's ask the questions of each other and then let's take it to other people and let them rip it apart. And to me, that is inspiring innovation because like we get to collaborate and do these things together. And then last thing I'll say is like, I will say just recently, I'm like, hey, we know ultimately where we want to go, but we don't know the how. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know the how either. So who wants to take the first step at just drafting something and we'll come back together and look at it. I'm saying that because it goes back to, I don't come to them every time like I have the answer. Sometimes it's, we know we want the outcome. So what do we do? Here's a dry erase board. What do we do? And sometimes they're looking like, I don't know. What do we do? I don't know. Let's research it.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. You're in it together. You're collaborating. We're going to figure it out together. Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, my final question for you today is if you could listen to one genre of music for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Why is this the hardest one?
I don't know. I know. I thought about that. I'm like, what would my answer be?
I would probably say R&B. because I can sing it at the top of my lungs. Like you would think, when I get in my car concerts are my release.
Yes.
I just sing at the top of my lungs. And I will say that tends to be, depending on, the songs, I try to ensure that I listen into songs that I can sing at the top of my lungs with my little kids with. So we can enjoy those songs together.
Yeah. Do you have a particular favorite right now?
I am not. No, not really.
No.
No. I'm pretty easy in all things, and so I just kind of turn on Pandora's R&B station, and if I know the song, if I don't, I'll make up the words. My daughter texts me all the time, like, "Mom, you do not know the words," but I am enjoying the beat.
Yes. Oh, well, I love that. Well, thank you so much, Shalynne, for sharing a little bit more with us. But here's the thing, friends. We want you to be a part of the conversation, too. We want your questions and your curious musings and your wild wonderings about our guests. So if there's something you've just always wanted to ask, now's your chance. You can learn more about that and how to do it at our website, polishnetwork.org. Be a Polished Podcast MVP and send in those questions today.